Welcome back to another episode of Panther Tales Podcast with your host, Wesam Alatoon. And I hope your week's been going pretty good so far. Mine hasn't been too bad. The start of the week hasn't been great, but that's what the Panthers will do for you. But the rest of the week hasn't been too bad. Work's been pretty good. Dog's been pretty good. So we're just chilling over here. Hope your week's been going good, Panther fans and all NFL fans or whoever's listening to this. And we'll dive right into it. But this weekend, this Saturday, actually, I'm getting my blood taken for the first time, like donating blood. I'm pretty nervous about that. I'm not a needle person, but just wanted to address that because this is my podcast and I could talk about whatever I want. So we'll be doing that Saturday, and then we'll be going to the game on Sunday. Hopefully interview more people, just chill, have a good time, and come out with hopefully a W this Sunday. And maybe that's the key. We just need to play at home. But obviously, we'll talk about all this at the end. The way we begin, we usually begin with recapping the previous games. Also, I do want to say last week was like birthday week, my mom's birthday, my niece's birthday, her first birthday. So a lot of birthdays were celebrated. My boss, my coworker. So there's just been a lot going on this last week. And besides being depressed after the New England game, I just didn't really watch much football. Sunday I went to celebrate Stella's birthday. So I was eating. I wasn't watching football. And honestly, I usually listen to Part of My Take on Mondays. Like I look forward to it. This is the first time in a long time. I just didn't want to listen to the episode, but I waited till Tuesday. Hank wasn't too bad, so that's good for me. Because I wouldn't be insufferable. I would have been insufferable, but I wouldn't have been. I would have just been like, okay, we did what we're supposed to do. But once again, we will recap that at the end. So the Thursday game. Oh, and with me saying that, if I don't know a lot about a specific game, that's just the way it is, and we'll dive right into Panther news. So I apologize in advance, but I watched what I watched, and if I have something to comment on, I will, and if I didn't see anything, then I'll say that, and we'll move on. So the Thursday game was the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Seahawks won 23-20. Trying to think back at what happened, and I'm drawing a blank, but I'm pretty sure that Sam Darnold led his last drive, he led them to a field goal, and they won the game. JSN with a big catch there. So, yes, it's coming back to me. So, Seahawks win 23-20. That's a good division win, too, for them. The Dublin game, Vikings versus Steelers. The Steelers won 24-21. Once again, don't remember too much. I just remember DK Metcalf having a really long touchdown pass, and then he didn't do anything for the rest of the game. Chargers versus Giants. I predicted a lot of upsets last week. This is actually one that hit. They won 21-18. Jackson Dart looks pretty good, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully, New York found their quarterback, because it is fun when the Giants are good. And also, it is fun when the Patriots are good. But once again, we'll get to that later. I also hated saying that. I know I'm gonna get crucified, but it is what it is. I love hating a team like the Patriots. So if they're good, it'll be easy to hate them. Titans versus Texans. The Texans won 26-0. Wow. So, second shutout of the season was from the Texans. Obviously, the first one was from the team best Carolina Panthers, or league best Carolina Panthers. So, they're just following in our footsteps. I didn't watch the game. Don't really know what happened. I think Marks had a couple of touchdowns. They're rookie running back, so that's cool for them. I just know at the end of the game, Cam Ward was just like, to keep it a buck, we're playing like ass. So maybe that'll light a fire on their ass. I told everybody already. I think they're gonna win a game this year. I don't know when it's gonna come, but I do believe they will win a game. And it might be coming soon with him saying that. So maybe they got a good week of practice in, and we'll see who they're playing very soon, and we'll come up with a prediction. The Rams 49ers game is about to come on, but I already have a prediction for that game. So no matter if it gets played before I get to them, I have a prediction. It can stay. I'm not cheating, I promise. Commanders versus Falcons. Falcons won 34-27. High scoring game. If Jaden Daniels played, they probably win that game. Not that Marcus Mariota played bad, but Jaden Daniels is just a special talent. Regardless, good bounce back win for the Falcons. Hate saying that, but that's the way it is. And they won. So good job. Saints versus Bills. Bills won 31-19. Once again, Saints playing close games against pretty good teams too. So it'll be interesting when the Panthers and Saints match up to see how that goes. But there are games coming up. If you saw me last Sunday, I had given up all hope, and I'm not very confident. And when I say give up hope, like, I mean just to win 7-8 games. I've given up all hope for playoffs, but once again, it's early in the season. We'll see how it goes later on, but so far not so good. But yeah, Bills win 31-19. Eagles versus Bucks. It took the defending Super Bowl champions to beat the Buccaneers, handing them their first loss of the season. So that's another thing. Going forward in our division, the Bucks look good, and they're probably going to win a good amount of games. So we would have to win they're going to win the division. We'd have to just win a good amount of games to make a wild card, and once again, it just doesn't seem likely from the uninspired Panthers. Browns versus Lions. Lions win 34-10. Even with the Browns having a good defense, it's just like the Lions' offense is just better. So they went in. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a good game, 2 touchdowns, 7 targets, 7 receptions, 70 yards, 7-7-7 wins you the game. Jags versus 49ers. So this was one that in my head, I had the Jags winning. But for Jag fans, I've picked the Niners because I felt like if I picked the Jags, I would have jinxed them. So I obviously counted that as a L for me, but I knew the Jags were going to win all along. But they won 26-21. That's with Purdy being back. Purdy is not playing in this Thursday game, but we will get to it. Colts versus Rams. Rams win 27-20. That's the Colts' first loss. This was expected just because the Rams have a little bit of experience. The Colts are just getting good for the first time in a while. Daniel Jones has not been good in New York, so everything is new, but they played well. Winning, like hanging in there for a 27-20 game, that's not bad at all. So, Rams win 27-20. Ravens versus Chiefs. This one was a little bit of a surprise, just how lopsided it was. Chiefs win 37-20. Worthy was back, so I'm sure he had an impact. I really don't know much that happened, but I know that Patrick Mahomes threw for 4 touchdown passes, which is great. Ravens, I don't know. I didn't see. I think Lamar got hurt. I don't know when he got hurt, but the reports are that he's gonna miss 2 weeks. Not sure how accurate that is, but that is what I read. Bears versus Raiders. With the score being what it was, 25-24 Bears winning, I don't know what happened, so I went back and watched. Caleb Williams led them to a nice drive. Swift ended it with a run, and then the Raiders were driving. They had good catches from Brock Bowers. They went for it on 3rd and 2. Ran it with Genty. Genty got stopped, so they kicked the field goal. Field goal got blocked, so good win for the Bears. And I said last week that the Bears and the Panthers are intertwined, and they're not. So I apologize for that dumbass statement. They're not. The Bears are better. Hopefully they could go on a little bit of a run and show that all those draft picks we gave them were worth something. Packers versus Cowboys, your first tie of the league. 40-40 tie. Lots of scoring. I did not watch. I did not know what happened. Zoe said LOL when I asked her about it. She said it was funny. So there we go. Jets versus Dolphins. Dolphins win. This was the first Monday night game. Dolphins win 27-21. It was just an ugly game all around, but a win is a win. Dolphins pick up their first win of the year. Tyreek Hill out for the season with a nasty injury. Then the Bengals versus Broncos. Apparently the Broncos defense just shut them down. Bengals couldn't do much. Jake Browning stuffed all. He was just stopped all day. And yeah, that's the result you get when you go up against a good defense. The Broncos might have their groove back. Bo Nix played well this game. Now here are the predictions for this coming week. 49ers versus Rams. I have the Rams winning tonight. Mac Jones is playing, but which is worse for them, but he's been playing pretty well, and he's gone undefeated for the 2 starts that he's played in, so maybe it's not such a bad thing. But I do have the Rams winning for sure. Vikings versus Browns. I have the Browns picking up their first win. I think their defense puts a pretty good hold on Carson Wentz if he's still playing, and the Browns pick up their first win of the year. Or they have a win. They've beat the Packers last week. The Browns will have 2 wins or 3. I don't even know their record. Texans versus Ravens. I have the Ravens winning this one, putting themselves back on track. But with the Texans winning their first game, maybe they could do what the Panthers couldn't and win 2 in a row and gain momentum off their shutout. So we'll see. Giants versus Saints. I have the Giants winning this one. They picked up their first win last week against a good Chargers team. I think with the new quarterback change, they're just energized. Dayball, I think is how you say it, is in love with Dart, like in a creepy way. But yeah, I think they win this game. Broncos versus Eagles. I have the Broncos beating the Eagles and putting an end to the Eagles' undefeated streak. The Eagles have been in a lot of close games. I think the Broncos defense will be just good enough to give them the edge in this game. Cowboys versus Jets. I actually have the Jets winning this game just because the Cowboys' rush defense isn't very good. So if Fields gets a couple runs, they should be good. The Jets' defense isn't great, but it's better than the Cowboys' defense. But the Cowboys have been putting up a ridiculous amount of points, so you really never know. This game can go either way. I'm just picking the Jets for the upset. But the Cowboys could very well easily win this game just because their offense is a machine, even with CD Lamb out right now, which is pretty crazy to say. Raiders versus Colts. I have the Colts getting back on track and winning this game. Not too much else to say. Raiders don't look that good, so I have the Colts winning. Bucks versus Seahawks. I mean, I should pick the Bucks because of what I said earlier, but they're our rival, and I'm going to pick the Seahawks to win. They are playing good football. They probably won't beat the Bucks, but you never know. They're playing pretty good football. If they could play overall a good game, special teams, offense, defense, stating the obvious, maybe they could pick up the win. Titans versus Cardinals. I have the Cardinals winning. I don't think the Titans get their first win here, but they could. Like, the Cardinals are such a weird team. They could. They're by no means is this a lock, but generally speaking, the Cardinals should win this game. Commanders versus Chargers. I have the Commanders winning this game. Because I think Jaden Daniels coming back. Once again, he's a game changer. People forget what he did last year. They go for it on 4th and shorts. They do the damn thing when Jaden Daniels is in, and I just think their offense will be hitting on all cylinders enough to give them that last drive victory. Lions versus Bengals. I have the Lions winning this game. Bengals just have looked bad ever since Joe Burrow's been out. Apparently Browning is not the guy, but he is getting the start this week still. And the Lions are a damn good football team. So Lions get the W in this matchup. And then the Sunday night game is Patriots versus Bills. I'm not saying what the Patriots did was a fluke whatsoever. They beat our ass. It happens. I just don't think they'll beat the Bills this week. But they could. Like, this would be a game to prove who the Patriots actually are. Sunday Night Football, you go out and play well again and pick up a W because Drake May is... Damn, he looked really good. 75% completion. I think the past 3 games. That's an amazing streak. That's just playing out of your mind. Even though, like, he's not doing anything crazy. He's just hitting the receivers on the right plays. So, and then the Monday night game is the Chiefs versus Jags. I picked the Chiefs to win just because they have a little bit of momentum now, winning 2 games in a row. I just think that'll be a tough one for the Jags, even though the Jags play good and they're committing a lot of turnovers this year. I just think the Chiefs winning that game against the Ravens will kind of ignite them to get back to where they're going. So this is a Panthers podcast. I can't keep saying the Kanye West line. He'll sue me eventually. But we are a quarter way done with the season. Your Carolina Panthers are sitting right now at 1-3. Blowout loss to the Jags. Comeback loss to the Cardinals. blowout win against the Falcons, and then blowout loss to the New England Patriots last week. We will talk about that soon. It's really hard to judge what and who we are. So, just a quarter of the way in, what I could say definitively is when things go bad, we can't recover, minus the Cardinals game. But when things go bad, like, it hits the whole team like a brick, and they just stop playing well. Any momentum that they've ever achieved goes away. That's what we could say about these 1-3 Panthers right now. But we have played 3 away games. So we'll see. We'll see if it's just an away thing. We'll see if it's because we're playing opponents we're not familiar with, a la the Patriots, a la the Jaguars. Maybe it's, yeah, maybe we will play well at home this year. Maybe we just need to be at home and we need to protect the bank. Maybe they need to hear this crowd. The Carolina Panthers crazy crowd. When everyone thinks about the Carolina Panthers, they talk about how tough our crowd noise is. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe we just need to come back at home, rip off a couple wins. I think the next 2 games are at home. So we'll see what we could do. But with that being said, I have some stats pulled up. Tetaroa McMillan is easily manning the target shares. He has 35 out of the 143 targets that we have. Second closest is Renfro, surprisingly, with 21. But Tetaroa McMillan is on pace to reach 1,000 yards. Yeah, because he almost has 300 yards here. There's going to be 4 quarters, so even if we did the math, 300 times 3 gets you to 900. So doing that again, that gets you over 1,000. So we're hoping for that. Maybe a Rookie of the Year win, but we definitely need to rip off some W's if we even want to be considered for that. But that's good. That's where Tetaroa McMillan is trending to get over 1,000 yards, and Xavier Legette is trending to get negative 200 yards. So we're looking good on all fronts, and we'll keep it going. Chuba Hubbard's got 217 rushing yards so far, which is good. Dowdle is behind him with 83. So, but he's only had 28 carries. But, geez, that's not good. That's a 3 yards per average. So not great, but he's been good for us. He's looked good. It's just everything has kind of been bad, man. Everything's been bad. Bryce Young has 753 passing yards. He has 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. So that's where we're sitting. Our safety, Trayvon Merrick, who we signed in free agency this year, has the most tackles on our team. So he's making his presence felt. So that's where we are in the quarter. We're sitting 3rd place in the division right now because the Falcons won last week. With that win, they have a better record than we do. So they are above us, even though that we beat them. So Bucks sitting at 1st, 3-1. Falcons 2nd, 2-2, I believe they are. The Panthers 3rd at 1-3, and the Saints sitting at last at 0-4. But let's go ahead and dive right into the New England Patriots versus the Panthers game. There's not much to say except it was just bad on all fronts. All fronts. And it's just pretty disheartening when your first drive, you open up with a touchdown and you look really good. And then the rest of the game happens. And let's recap that. And I do want to say, I know that I said I was feeling good on Sunday, like when it came to the game, but when it actually came to the game, I was definitely nervous. Once again, I think there's two things. One, New England is a unfamiliar opponent. Number, I have three things. Number two, it was an away game, and clearly we see how we've played away so far this year. That's something that definitely needs to change. And number three, we're not used to winning 2 games in a row. So we're unfamiliar with that. I could imagine we celebrated a little too much. We probably overlooked the Patriots, seeing as they're 1-3. They probably thought because they had the first shutout in the NFL last week that they could just come into this game and do that shit again, and they couldn't. Special teams was awful. So like we start the game with an opening touchdown drive, and then we stop them, and they punt, and we get it back. So that our defense was fine. They got a stop. They punted exactly where we want them. Then they make us punt, and this is where everything goes down. Everything goes downhill. They kick it. I think his name is Marcus Jones, something like that. He returns it like everyone, I guess, thought he fair caught it. He didn't. He returns it, scores a touchdown. They get momentum from there on out. We just look. I don't know what happened after that punt return touchdown, but it's like it's okay. It's just 7-6 now. It's not a big deal. Just come out and keep playing. And we come out and we punt again, and then they have another good return, and it's just like, golly, man. It was just one thing after the other. Nothing could go right for us. It was very frustrating to watch. We looked really bad. I guess it's good that Coach Canales blamed himself in his presser after the game. He deserves a lot of blame, I hate to say. But, he takes accountability, and then the players are taking accountability. So you gotta listen to what they say. Hopefully that they're believing what they say, because once again, they just looked so atrocious, looked so underprepared. When one thing goes bad, their mental, the mental part of their game is not their strength. But you need to keep playing. It's football. And I was watching the game with Tamara, and Tamara was like, we need to score. And I was like, yeah, I know. But you can't score on every possession, man. This is football. And then you look at the Patriots, and they score one, score another, next drive, score another, next drive, score another. And we got to a point where we could have had a stop, and you stop them for a field goal. You stop them for a field goal, you at least get a little bit of momentum. But the time we had to stop them for a field goal, Nick Scott, dumbass tripping penalty, puts them in position. Now they score again. Keep shooting ourselves in the foot, the head, the heart. Keep shooting ourselves everywhere. We're dead. Scoring 42 unanswered points is crazy. Not playing your starters at the top of the fourth is crazy. But we were getting our ass kicked, so all of that made sense. I don't think we should have taken out Young. Just play him. Just play him at that point. Just get more reps. Apparently, he didn't get enough in preseason. And once again, he's not playing awful, but turning around when Milton is chasing you and tripping on yourself, stuff like that just can't happen. By the way, Milton, we were supposed to get, and I was just imagining, especially the replay of him running after Bryce, like just pushing the blocker and then running after Bryce. I was just thinking in my head, man, uh, if he was on the team with Derek Brown, that would be crazy. Because looking at Turk Wharton, like, haven't really heard his name much. Clearly not making an impact. They score every possession that they have. And look, granted, I know that they had good field position most of the time, but what are they supposed to do? Drake May looks like a beast on 3rd and 15 instead of running the ball for 1 yard like the Panthers did twice. It wasn't 3rd and 15 twice, but it was 3rd and long and then 3rd and 15, and we ran both times, draw plays for like no yards. Great play calling. The 3rd and 15 that they had, Drake May sat there. We were able to apply no pressure, just sat there, delivered a strike, first down. What a normal NFL team can do. Anytime we get in if it's anything besides 3rd and 10 and below, I almost automatically shut down. I don't believe we'll get it. We need to start trusting Bryce. We need to start trusting the players on this team. The play calling's bad. We need to open it up. It's just like, how are we going to talk about how now everyone's in the second year of the playbook? Everything should be way better than last year, and we look worse than we did last year. So, that's that. We got our ass kicked. I just wish we could keep it competitive at some points. Like when you're down 26 to 6 or 27 to 6 at half, 28 to 6 at half, whatever the score was. So it just doesn't give you much hope to come back. We're not the Patriots versus the Falcons, so that 28 to 7 or 28 to 3, 28 to 6, all of these, it just looks different. But we are back at home this week. We are playing the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are coming off their first win, but they did lose Tyreek Hill this past week, so that's a pretty big blow for them. But they have enough players on offense to where if they could just get creative with it. So this is going to really be the true test game. I thought the Patriots game was going to be the true test, but since it was away, we have to now see if it's a home and an away thing. So coming back home, I'll be there. Hope to see you guys out there. Let's see if that changes things and we pick up a big time W. Because if you get this win, you're 2-3, you're back at home, and then you verse the Cowboys. And I'm never going to sleep on the Cowboys. They've had our number the past couple years, and their offense is looking great. They're putting up points. So we just need to keep an even keel, like level. We need to keep our heads leveled. We need to just play for all 4 quarters. Don't give up. If something bad happens, it's football. Go back. Do something different the next time you're out there. I don't know what else to say. Drake May, I need to say, good job doing the Superman. That was great. He was a Panther fan growing up. Cam Newton was his favorite player. I just had to say that. Back to the Miami Dolphins. They did not play good against the Jets, and the Jets aren't considered a good team this year either. So if we get a couple stops, if we just play for all 4 quarters, we have a chance. I don't think we have a big chance right now just because, like, our defense just doesn't give me any hope. Like, we were historically bad last year. We got players in free agency. We're getting Derek Brown back. But we're just still getting scored on at will, man. Like, anytime a team wants to score, they can just score. But like I said, we stopped them on their first possession last week. If we had not given up that punt return touchdown, maybe maybe the defense keeps playing well, but there's no reason to just shut down. I know when the offense isn't playing good, it's tough to go back out there, but I mean, if you play well, maybe you inspire the offense. The offense needs all the inspiration on all the everything that they could get. Having T-Mac out there as like the only receiver last week, they were easily able to just like lock in on him. And once they did that, we were essentially doomed. But we had, once again, the first drive didn't involve T-Mac that heavily. Tommy Tremble was playing good. Chuba was running good, but Chuba got hurt. He has not practiced this week, so he might miss this game. But even if he does, Dowdle is more than capable of carrying the load for a game. So we'll see. Jimmy Horn is playing this week, so he's ready right now. He is ready right now. Ready right now. I'm ready right now. I'm ready right now, baby. Let's see him. Let's see the speed. Let's see if he could take the top off, and especially if they're going to double team McCaffrey. McCaffrey is on TV right now. If they double team McMillan, you never know. Get a little bit of separation, but our offensive line's hurt. Chandler Zavala went down, even though Chandler Zavala went down. Robert Hunt went down 2 weeks ago, and so did Austin Corbett. So we have 3 injuries on the line, but with all our depth and stuff, we should still be good. But just nobody else could get hurt. Brady Christensen's going to be playing guard. He's played all positions, so he should be fine. Mays at center, Lewis at left guard. We have Kim at left tackle, and we have Moten on the right tackle. So our offensive line should still be good. We just need to come back home, come up with some creative plays, utilize your players. Xavier Legette should be back. So I know everyone's down on him, but we need any offensive players playing right now. I haven't heard anything from Coker, so I assume he's going to continue to be placed on IR. This should be an interesting game. I hope it's a good game. I hope we come out and we play with some fire. I hope our defense plays well. This is a winnable game. I'm not going to say we're going to win, but it's a winnable game. We'll see what the crowd split is like when I'm out there. I will try to interview some Dolphin fans. I want to interview some Panther fans, and hopefully we can find somebody with a random jersey that we can create a Carolina Panther fan. So that's what we got this week. A-Chain's going to be trouble. Waddle will probably be trouble. But come on. Focus in. Get stops. Pressure the quarterback. These are the keys. These are the keys to the game. You put some pressure on Tua, make him feel uncomfortable. Who knows what we could do. But we are now starting a new chapter. We're in October. We were 1-3 in September. Let's see what we are in October. We are officially 0-0 again. Hopefully we can start a little bit of a winning streak here. I don't have, yes, we'll wait and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we come into this game on Sunday with some fucking fire under our ass and we play with passion and we give a good show for the fans. McMillan hopefully gets his first touchdown in his career, but even if he doesn't, seeing a Legette touchdown or a Horn touchdown, that would be cool too, because we need to see Dollar Bill and we need to see I just want to see how Horn would celebrate. But if he does score, we're going to look back at the coaching and be like, damn, should have been playing him the whole time. But I'm not trying to rip anybody too much. I'm just going to chalk last. And I listen to Jake Delhomme and Jordan Gross's podcast, and Jake keeps saying we beat ourselves, but you can't say that. If we're beating ourselves, we're doing that in practice, preparing for the game. Like, we're just getting our ass beat. We need to play with more urgency. They say the word execute all the fucking time. If you say it that much and you preach about it that much and everything is revolving executing, why are we still so bad at executing? Just execute. Execute. Do the play the right way. Get some good plays. Like, the offense hasn't looked inspiring except for a couple of drives, and we're on our 5th game, guys. Let's get a good offensive game. If we can show that this week, then I'm happy. Even if we lose, show me some good offense. Show me you have fight. Like, if they score, like, let's go back and come back and score. You know? Just things like that. So, I'm looking forward to Sunday. I really am. I'm very excited. I like going to the games. It'll be fun. And, well, it'll be fun if, you know, we're even slightly competitive. And I think we will be. I don't have a feeling about the game right now because it's too early to tell. I can update y'all on Sunday, though, when I'm doing the video and let you know what I think about the game. DJ Johnson was released. I wish Nick Scott was released. We released a wide receiver because he's injured, and he was our new gunner on special teams. But that's just the latest news for the Panthers. I'm glad we did that to DJ Johnson. I'm sorry, but he wasn't a good player. So send a message to your team. Open up their eyes. Let them know that if we don't perform, this could happen to you next. This game should be close. 1-3 versus 1-3. I hope everybody continues to have a good week. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Keep pounding.